Hey, good morning. It's Martha at Pause Yoga and Fitness. I'm on a roll. These are two classes I have found now right in a row. I had a really hard workout this morning as far as legs go and did some sprinting work, and I am tired. I can feel it, but so what a great time to come and just do some stretching on my mat carpet. And of course, I might as well film, and so you can join me in this practice. So again, this is going to be really geared towards our lower body. And I'm going to use my strap. You can see I'm using my bolster. So if you don't have a bolster, Yoga Blocks will definitely work with this. Maybe a firm pillow. And then, of course, I've got lots of Yoga Blocks back there too. So let's get started just in a comfortable seat. So roll out your mat. We'll just begin to breathe here. I'm aiming again for another like 20 to 30-minute practice for this. So just beginning to breathe. Letting go of tension as you exhale. Letting go of any thoughts that you have. Working on sitting up nice and tall as you inhale. Just go ahead, we're going to walk out fingers, continuing to work here in your breath, but as you exhale, let's just drop your right ear. Inhale, come and tuck your chin. Exhale to your left. And just taking a few half circles, moving with your breath. Go one more on each. Last one. Take a nice big inhale, reach up for the sky. And release. And big inhale, reach up. And release. Big inhale. And release. Bring your hands to your shoulders. We'll take our real big shoulder rolls. And we'll take a few in the other direction. And I'm going to change this to a seated cat and cow. So as your shoulders or your elbows come together, you're going to tuck your pelvis and chin as you exhale. And then inhale, open up, feel your shoulder blades come together, gaze up, exhale, round, and inhale. One more, exhale. Inhale. And let it go. Bring your hands back behind you. Just going to open up your feet, and we'll begin to windshield wiper here as you breathe. As your knees are to the left, we're going to pause, just working on getting your right knee grounded, so we're a little closer to the ground. And we'll do the same on the other side, not forcing it. Good. Lengthening out your legs. We're going to start with that left heel, drawing it in. Bring it into the other side of your right leg. And taking your right arm, you're going to hug your knee in as you gaze over your left shoulder. And one more. And then coming in, taking a counter stretch with your hands grounded onto your right side. And release. And before we switch to the other side, let's hang here and take a few points and flex with our feet. And maybe a few circles. Then we'll take the other direction. All right, so let's draw our right heel in. Left arm this time is going to hug your knee in. And we're gazing over our right shoulder. And as you exhale, we're going to come and bring our fingertips over to our left. One more full inhale. And exhale. Great. All right, from here, stacking right leg on top of left. You can always come into cross-legged position. You can take a blanket for support or your yoga block. And just taking a few circles, big as you like here. Good, and we'll go another direction. And then moving in, well, actually, stack or cross your legs in the other direction. Getting ahead of myself, we'll take a few circles here. I'm getting ahead of myself because where we're going next is one of my favorite yoga moves. Feels so good in the hips. Let's go another direction. Taking these circles is definitely a close second. It's so good. Hopefully you're feeling that too. All right. So from here, I'm grabbing a yoga block and we're going to move into cow. So this left knee is going to stack right over my right. Now, maybe your stack looks a little different. Again, as long as you're not in pain here, you could add a blanket under your knees. You know, your hips, sit bones need to be grounded, so watch that you're not lifted. And if all else fails, just stick with your cross-legged position. We're going to take a side bend over to the right arm up and over, sorry, to the left. And so your left forearm or hand or elbow can hang out on this block. What I want you to think about doing though is get your right shoulder back, even if you have to kind of manually kind of pull it back, and then come down to your block however you can or want today. Making sure, again, your sit bones are both grounded. This right arm is open. So you're spiraling your chest open to the sky. This right arm can come here or up and over for even more of an intense stretch. And let's hold. So what you should feel if you're in cow is your top leg is gently pressing your bottom leg down. So it just really results in this amazing stretch along your right hip. Maybe even a little in the quad. And then let's carefully release. And so we're going to come and switch into cow. If you're in cow and you kind of want to switch in a real fun way, then join me. This is my left leg on top, so I'm going to plant my hands down to my right. I'm going to press up to both of my feet. Hi. And I'm going to walk around, carefully landing my left knee down, having a seat. Voila. So now my right knee is on top. Of a fun transition. All right, again, we'll come into our cow on this side. So again, left shoulder opens, chest spirals, sit bones are grounded, left arm up and maybe even over for that deeper side body stretch, and hold and breathe. And carefully release. Let's make our way into tabletop. And then from here, finding down dog. When you're ready, tucking your toes and coming up. Again, like I said, on carpet, I find down dogs to be very challenging just because I slip. So I'm not able to really taking up lots of space on this down dog, which I probably could take up more space. But anyways, if you're on carpet, just be really careful. You can paddle out or stay still. Just thinking about relaxing through your head. Nice long back, tailbone up. All right, and let's release. We are going to come into hero's pose. It's great for the quads as long as it doesn't bother your knees. So hero's pose is where you're sitting your bum on the ground in between your feet. So kind of getting your calves out of the way and sitting. It's very much like how you would see kids just plop down and sit. If this is just too much on the knees, or maybe you don't quite sit all the way, you could definitely take your yoga block or two, right, and sit on the block. And then what you want to do though, if you're good here, your knees are in, if you're not getting much of a stretch, that's when you want to start to kind of walk your hands back and maybe even come down to your forearms. If you have your bolster, this is where that can come into play. And so you can just take the bolster, especially if your bum actually comes down to the ground, you can take your bolster to your lower back and then lie all the way down. This just helps to go deeper into the stretch without having to come all the way down, which I cannot. And we're just going to hold for a few breaths here. Really focusing on the front of your legs, focusing on those quads, trying to loosen them up. And one more. All right. And then very carefully, we're going to ease on up and then come all the way to your knees. We're going to come into camel. So toes tuck. We'll take a gentle camel to start off with, drawing your elbows in, hands to your lower back. And as you exhale, you're sending your hips forward and chest to the sky, drawing your elbows in, easing up or forward, just whatever feels good on your neck. And release. We're going to flow through that. We'll stick with just one arm at a time, just one side at a time. You can again tuck your toes and bring your hands to your heels, your kind of Achilles area, your calf, whatever you can really manage to hold on to or touch, not really hold on to. And you could even take yoga blocks to either side of your feet. All right. So we're gonna take our right arm up and again to your heel or whatever you've got, and then left arm to the sky. Actually, let's just kind of hold here. And you're gonna press your hips forward. And one more. And very carefully up. We'll do that same thing on the other side. Left arm up and over, right arm to the sky. Exhale. Breathe. And emptying out very carefully. And we're going to sit in a cross-legged or back on your heels just to let our spine reset. Breathe. And back into down dog as you exhale, press back. And staying still. We're pedaling out and breathe. You're still, you're just working on getting your heels closer to the ground. We'll take two more. Last one. All right. Tabletop. You're going to take your right leg to the outside of your left hand for lizard pose. As you press your hips forward, your hand can always come down to the block if you like. You can tuck your toes, coming deeper by lifting that back knee. You can come down to your forearms and breathe. All right, we're going to move into galaxy. So dropping that knee, your right toes are going to point right, and you're rolling to the pinky edge of your foot. Your left hand's directly underneath your shoulder, and you can just press that thigh open even more. Or go into the full version if you have access to that back foot, grabbing it, Continuing to sort of spiral your chest open and breathe. All right, and then very carefully releasing this back foot. And we're gonna walk your foot in between your hands, pressing your hips forward. You can stay grounded, but you want to kind of keep your chest lifted, or you can come a little bit more intense, a little bit more deeper by coming up. And then we're going to take a side bend here. That left arm's going to come up and over. Really working on some balance here. Engage those legs, draw your inner thighs in. And release. And then from here, if you need to, kind of scooching your foot forward, we're going to lift our feet to the sky. Soft knee, right hip is back, so you're facing this front leg, and exhale forward. You can, again, fingertips come to the yoga blocks or floor, and breathe. Real good, intense hamstring stretch. We're going to stay in this fold position, but now you're going to bring your toes to the ground. So changing up the stretch to the front of the leg, hitting that shin. And then moving into half pigeon. Feel free to come down to your back, or more of a figure 4 or modified version. So you can bolster out of the way. All right, left leg is straight back. Right foot is as parallel to the front of your mat. If you're on a mat, you can always take a blanket under this hip. You can bring your heel in a little closer to you if you need to get this hip down. But hips, belly button, chest, everything's facing the front of the room. You're not opened out to the left. Big inhale, puff up your chest. And then exhale, if you can, slowly ease down. Using pigeon and breathe. You're going to carefully press yourself up. You're going to, using your core muscles here, you're going to wiggle your foot back to the outside, to that lizard position. We're going to, I'm going to sort of move this way though, so my back is going to be to you. To grab a yoga block. So we're going to go into a lateral lunge, but on the side. So a lateral lunge, yeah. Depends what a lateral lunge is. To the side. So you're tucking your back toes, and you're going to come to the big toe side of that foot. And so you can come here. This foot is flexed. I like to use, if you need to use your hands, do so, but you're trying to kind of open up that chest, right? Dropping your hips, just really intense inner thigh stretch. This is a really challenging move for me. I mean, some people are able to, come into prayer here. Today, it's not happening. Take one more. All right, and let's ease out of it and just come right into a wide fold here. You can bring those toes in, heels out. Just let your head hang heavy. And pressing up through your hands. Let's walk our heels in for a low yogi squat. Again, dropping your hips. And press your elbows into your thighs to open up your thighs. A great alternative to this is cobbler, seated cobbler. Yeah, so coming down, bring the soles of your feet together. All right, and release. Easing into tabletop. We're just going to repeat all of that on the other side. So getting your right or left foot through, to lizard. Again, finding what version of lizard works for you and hold. And move into galaxy from here. So back knee comes down, left toes point left, roll to the edge. Right hand is right underneath your shoulder, pressing your thigh open, spiraling your chest. Stay here or grab your back foot. This is where your strap can come in handy. You can use your strap to grab that back foot. Good. We're going to carefully release this foot. Walk your foot, this left foot in between your hands, low lunge. You can stay here in your low lunge or come on up to low lunge. We'll add our side bend, so right arm up and over. Okay, let's release. Hands to the ground if you need it. You're going to wiggle your foot forward slightly and then sit or lengthen out your leg from here, and then left hip is back, folding over your leg, hands to the ground or yoga blocks. Good. And then we'll bring our toes to the ground, changing up the stretch slightly. And then from here, easing into pigeon. Again, come down to your back if you need that. Up, and then slowly release down. We're going to press back up. Moving our way into that lateral lunge. So again, I'm just going to shift over this way so my back isn't to you. So from pigeon, sorry, you're tucking your back toes, you're lifting up onto this left foot, bringing your toes to face the side of your yoga mat, dropping your hips. Right foot is lifted, and again, use your hands or a yoga block. Just working on those inner thighs. One more. And moving into our wide folds once again, just letting your head hang heavy. And here, inhale, press up to your hands. You're going to walk your feet in hip distance. Planting your left hand right underneath your nose. It can be on your yoga block. You're going to bend your left knee more than your right. Okay, and then send your right arm to the sky. So you should get a nice stretch along your right leg, that IT band that runs from your hip into your knee, the side of your knee. Okay, let's release. So right hand grounds down, right knee bends more. Let's exhale, left arm to the sky. And release. And then from here, sending your hips down. If your heels pop up, that's fine. You can kind of wiggle out side to side, front, maybe heels come down, front to back. You could use yoga blocks here to help. Maybe come all the way down to your knees, ground down, so you're on your toes. And then with blocks or no blocks, come to your feet And transition to your toes. And then to your feet one more time through. All right, and then release down. And shake it out. All right, let's come all the way down your back, nice and slow. And let's grab that strap. Last little thing we're going to do here is take right leg to the sky. I'm going to keep my left leg bent. Just finding that warm stretch. And taking your left hand to the strap, right arm is out at T, right out at shoulder level, extending your left leg. Let's take your right leg across your body. Just another great stretch to get that IT band. If you don't have a strap or you know, nothing like a towel or anything to hold on, you can always do this with a bent knee. Let's come back to center. I'm going to wiggle over so I have room, but you're going to take your leg out to the right, keeping your left hip grounded. Okay, let's bring it up. We're going to drop the strap. I'm going to bend my other knee again to transition to a half happy baby. And then I'm going to let this right leg go long. All right. Huge difference right now between my right and left. My right side feels really good. So maybe you feel a difference. If so, let's go ahead and work that left side, hopefully making it feel just as good. Just take your leg across your body, easing out towards your left hand. Left shoulder stays grounded. Yeah, let's take your leg back and out to the left. Right hip stays grounded. And right back up, moving into half happy baby on this side. And releasing your left leg. Definitely a lot better. So feel free to hit pause and end class here, taking up space and breathing. Otherwise, we're going to just roll over. Actually, let's do this full body stretch. Let's hug your knees in and rock. And then very carefully rolling over to come up, finishing how we started in a comfortable seat. Just taking a nice big inhale, reaching up, hands in prayer. And as you are here with your eyes closed or gazing down or both, just take notice of how you're feeling now after this practice. How do those legs feel? How's your energy? How's your breath? How's your mood? What are your thoughts like? And acknowledging yourself for showing up, rolling out your mat, taking this time to take care of you so you can go off now and take care of those you need to in a stronger, healthier way. Take one more full inhale. Exhale it out. And from my right to yours. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this felt really good. Leave a comment. Let me know how it went for you. And again, as always, what other classes would you like to see here? If you enjoy this, please like, please share, and of course, subscribe to this page. Thanks and have a great day. I'll see you back soon. Bye.